these two particular exercises are absolutely essential for maintaining control and escaping any manhole. And when you do them, you should do them with that in mind. You should have the mindset that you're not just pulling down the mat or shrimping on the mat because the sensei told you to do it. You got to go all the way down there and get tired. You should do it with a different set of mind. You should be doing it that you're practicing your groundwork. I saw at least one BJJG in here, so I mean, you know, they learned our groundwork and took it to another level, and they appreciate our groundwork a lot more than a lot of judo people do. And the bottom line is, if you're taught the right way, like I was, you learn how to do the groundwork, and you get a real appreciation. And it's absolutely an essential part of judo. And the same principles that go into making you effective in doing standing judo are the very same principles you should be applying when you're doing groundwork. And to put it in English, you know, a German guy came to my club one time and he said, judo teaches you to develop special strength. Special strength. And what he meant by that is that a little person can throw a big person. A little person can hold a big person if they learn how to make their body and work their body and develop the special strength that you get from judo. And I'm telling you, these two particular groundwork exercises, I'm going to show you how important they are. You know, people come in and say, pull down the mat, and here's a 60-year-old guy. And I see people doing stuff like this. Then you see the cheaters that go like this. Okay? But here's the way you should do it. When you do this, you should be thinking this. That I'm going to reach out as far in front of me as I can reach. That's as far as I can reach. And once you reach that point, go a little further. So always reach as far as you can, and whatever you think your stopping point is, go further. And that's not just a technique or a concept in judo, that's a metaphor for life. Anytime you think you reach the top, go further. Go further. You'll find there's always a lot more room to improve beyond what you may have imagined. So, you know, on this exercise, practice that philosophy. Reach further than you ever reached before. Reach way out there. And, you know, remember the extra mile is always the loneliest part of the road because not too many people hit the extra mile. So you're there by yourself. So, you know, reach as far as you can when you're doing this. Reach really far. And then when you get to that point, pull in. Pull in. And push from down here with your stomach muscles. Push with your stomach muscles and thrust yourself forward as far as you can on each one. Each one. So don't just go with it. What you want to really do is this. Here. See that line right there? I'm going to reach for it as far as I can. And then, when I pull in, I'm going to propel myself with my stomach muscles over that line if I can. I get my nose up to it as far as I can. Boom. Same thing again. If you look from the top, you see that my whole body is working. Like everything is working, and I'm getting as much extension, I'm getting as much flex as I can. And this is exactly what you need in holding. Hold on, one more thing. Same thing on the shrimping. On the shrimping, you see people just go. On the shrimping, this right here, this is the number one escape. Who knows what it's called? Who knows what that escape's called? Number one escape for all mat holds. The number one escape in judo is the uphill turn. The uphill turn is the number one escape in judo. Somebody has me here in a shoulder, a kesa type hold, and I'm here, and what I do? The first thing I do is I move this hand like it's a drill bit, and start to pull it out. Because a good casing tummy person knows holding this arm and not letting any space is the key to making it effective. So they're holding this arm tight, so I have to get this arm out. So I pull this arm here to break it loose. I take my hand and I push their shoulder and head down to the mat, here. And then I start pulling this arm out. And as I'm doing that, I bring my legs up and try to get up to my knees. So, when I'm doing these floor exercises, I'm not just doing a calisthenic to make my sensei happy. I'm practicing holding with my hara, which is your center, which is in the Japanese where your life comes from. I'm centering my hara on my opponent, so I have complete control over my opponent. I'm going to submit him. I'm going to push down so hard, I'm going to take the wind out of him. And when I'm doing the shrimp, I'm doing the uphill turn escape, which is, bridge and roll you get sometimes. Sometimes you get leg entangling, but the uphill turn is the basis for all the escapes. The uphill turn is the key escape in groundwork, in Kosen Judo, in Oda's Judo. So, when you practice these, practice them with some real meditative commitment. All right, now, Justin, put me in case of. Okay, OJ. All right, so this is the uphill turn escape. Uphill turn escape, I see people trying it, and they go like this, and they go here. Sometimes they grab here, and they hold the guy's gi, and I even see them doing stuff like this. What am I doing when I do that?
Pinning yourself.
Pinning myself, exactly. Exactly. So, applying what I just said about that exercise, here's the right way to do the uphill turn escape, something this basic. All right, take this hand and I push it here. And this hand, my goal here is I'm going to push his shoulder down. I'm going to grind his face into the mat as much as I can. I'm going to grind his face. Now, as soon as I do that, I'm going to start moving this arm here like a drill and pulling it out like this. Then I'm going to move here so I can get to my knees. If I'm brown or black belt, I got an arm lock right here. If I'm a kid, I just push up here and then set my hold. But that's the uphill turn. And the uphill turn is practice when you do that shrimping move. And this is number one thing that beginners and novices do in tournaments. So, with those feet here, push the person's head down, turn this arm like a drill bit, pull it out, come up here. And again, I got an arm bar right here. I got an ude, or I can just roll it over. I can do either a shiho, which is this one, or I can do a kesa, which is this one. And I have great positioning. This you guys might want to stand up for. All right, now let's talk about the other dynamic, the pulling down the mat, because this one is to me the key to holding people. He's a pretty strong guy.
Yeah.
How old are you?
33.
Okay, I'm going to be 60, so I mean, there's no doubt I'm outgunned here by him, right? We all agree on that? About the same size. All right. So let's just say I hold him in Kizuri Yoko Shio, like this. Go ahead, escape. Go ahead, you can do it. Go ahead. That down here again. You don't have to be worried about embarrassing me. Okay, I'm gonna hold you. I'm gonna hold you like most people hold people. This is what they do, right? Go ahead, get up. Now watch. Now I'm going to apply the principle of that exercise. That exercise, by the way, another version of it, besides doing this, is the judo push-up. And people don't do the judo push-up right. People do judo push-ups like this. This is the judo push-up the way we did it at Mr. Kim's.
Yeah.
You see,
We do
I'm
it
focusing a lot on my lower abs and my hara. So, coming here again, I got the guy on Osekame, but I'm going to do it using the principles the way they should be applied.
Good.
Okay, so what am I doing different? Feel the difference on that? All right.
You're putting your abdominal
Yes,
weight into
yes. What I'm doing is I'm bearing down with my belt here, and the image I like to have in my head is that I took a walnut and I put a walnut right here, and now with my hara, the point on my belt where my belt is, your belt should be tied around your hara, like your belt's way too high, and it gives kind of that nerdy effect. You want to keep it down low like his, like the more advanced guys. You know, Ed has his down low. That's because we learned that's where you put your belt, right on your hara. Kind of looks sexy. Instead of like a beginner that wears his leg way up here. And what you're doing, you put that walnut right here, and then when you get the guy in the hold, you take your belt and you make walnut butter. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You make walnut butter, all right? So, this is a real valuable insight I'm glad to share with you guys. I mean, I've done clinics where I've gone into the room and I picked a guy that was like 250, big weightlifter, and I held him when all the strong young guys couldn't. And, you know, it's not to show off, it's to make my point. It's to make my point that, you know, it's brawn, it's brains. It's using your judo the right way and doing what my friend called the special strength, getting that out of you. All right? Final thing I want to show is that my favorite singer, songwriter, Neil Young, who I've met a couple times, he has this saying sometimes he says when he's on stage and they start yelling out songs that they want him to play. He'll look at the audience and he'll go, "It's all one song. It's all one song," you know, and I guess what he thinks is if you heard one Neil Young song, you've heard them all. You know, kind of depressing, same themes, same chords, you know, different words. But you know what? I'm going to tell you right now, it's all one pin. It's all one pin. Go ahead. Kazuri. Call me Yoga Tommy. Kazuri Kesagatami. Go ahead. Kazuri Yoko Shiogatami. Yoko Shiogatami. Tate Shiogatami. Tate Gatami. It's all one whole. It's all one whole. Everything connected. And you slide and find the position that's available to you. Groundwork has a lot of judo secrets in it. And if you study it closely, you can find out a lot of the meanings of judo through the groundwork. Thank you.
Thank you, Sensei.